This MCPS TV sports presentation is brought to you by Montgomery County Public Schools Television, Cable Channel 52.
This is Montgomery County's high school game of the week. This game features two Division III opponents, the Magruder Colonels, coached by Roy Lester, who are 2-2, hosting the Kennedy Cavaliers, coached by Marvin Garlick. The Cavaliers so 2-2, but they lead the division. Two tough teams trying to achieve consistency. Hello everyone, I'm Kelly Burke along with our analyst Billy Gordon. Once again, we're happy to bring you this game. The Magruder Colonels were 10-3 last year. They always seem to play tough under Coach Roy Lester. But this year has to be really described as a rebuilding year. And a clear sign of that is the defense. The Magruder Colonels, Billy, have allowed 109 points, the most of any team in Division III. That's around 27 points a game, but that Springbrook game really killed them.
Gave up 48 points against the Blue Devils. This is most uncharacteristic for a Roy Lester coach club. It's a very young ball club, however. 10 sophomores play for Roy Lester. Defensively, they have some outstanding performers. Across the board, they're not as strong as they used to be. Bruce Ballard, certainly one of the best performers in all of Montgomery County, is a strong offensive running back. A defensive linebacker will play a little defensive end. Watch him. Mike Graham as a defensive back is also outstanding.
But Magruder scores some points. They certainly can play tough. And who should we look for there?
Bruce Ballard again, big, strong fullback. Bruce goes about 235. Watch him. Andy McLean, who started last year as a sophomore, is back as a junior. Big quarterback, 6'4", about 200, a lot of savvy. Mike Graham will be the primary receiver when they throw. They'll keep the ball on the ground, however, as much as possible.
The Kennedy Cavaliers were 7-3 last year, and as I said, they've beaten two Division III rivals so far this year and stand atop of the division. And one of the reasons is that they have a very stingy defense. They have only allowed 43 points in 4 games. That's about 10 points a game, so they're tough on defense.
Coach Marvin Garlick's team, only 20 football players. 23 guys came out in August. He's down to 21 players. Big, strong linemen, however, led by Joe Weston and Richard Reddix. Both of these guys get down in the trenches, very powerful, very assertive defensively. Offensively, they'll on the ground also. They have some outstanding running backs. Owusu Wilson and Fola Owaska will carry the ball most of the time.
He handled those names much better than I would. Congratulations. Both of those guys, though, one of them averages 7 yards a carry, the other 4 yards a carry. So they will be tough on the ground. However, both of these teams do not pass, at least they do not pass very well. Kennedy has not had a TD pass this season, and Magruder's had only 4.
4 touchdown passes, 3 of them to Mike Graham. Again, he's the primary receiver. We'll look for the ball to be on the ground most of tonight. However, Roy Lester may surprise us.
Good, tough game, and watch the line play with two teams that run like this. Make no mistake, it will be a good game between these two rivals. Stay with us.
Just a fraction of what we spend dining out could help pick up the tab for a good cause. A part of what we spend on sports could help keep our community in shape. Or some of our time on the phone could help answer society's problems. Won't you get involved? By giving 5% of your income and volunteering 5 hours per week, you can really help your community. This year, make it your goal to give 5. What you get back is immeasurable.
Well, we're nearly set for the kickoff here between the Kennedy Cavaliers and the Magruder Colonels. Two Division III rivals who are going to be going at it. Kennedy is 2-2, Magruder is 2-2, but Kennedy has beaten 2 teams within the division, so they lead the division. But it should be an interesting game, a good contrast here. This is Kelly Burke again with Billy Gordon, and it's always interesting to watch Roy Lester teams, Billy.
Yes, Coach Lester, the highest winning percentage of any of the Montgomery County public school coaches. They look at Roy. He's been an outstanding coach at Richard Montgomery, Paint Branch, and for the last many years at Magruder High School. Take a look there at the assistant coaches. Lee Branthover played for Roy Lester at Richard Montgomery on the championship teams there, and of course the athletic director, Dr. Rick Grimsley, over here.
They've had problems, though, Magruder, this year being consistent because they're a young team, especially some problems on defense. They lost big to Springbrook. That's no shame. Everybody has problems against Springbrook. But Coach Lester admits that this is a year he's trying to mold some young players.
Lots of young ball players on this football team. As we said at the top of the show, the Colonels have 10 sophomores. 6 of those guys will start for Roy Lester, both on offense and defense.
The Kennedy Cavaliers, on the other hand, have an experienced line. They don't have a big squad, but that line is really giving them a great season. Made most everybody tough, and they have also been able to produce on the ground. Both teams, in fact, are teams that will rush the ball more than pass. In fact, Kennedy does not have a TD pass this season, which is really unusual for any team. Magruder has 4. They have a veteran quarterback in a guy named Andy McLean, tall player, sets up very well, but Roy Lester's habit is to run the ball.
Andy McLean goes 6'4", about 190 pounds, started all 13 games last year for the Colonels, led them all the way to Byrd Stadium to the Maryland 3A championship football game, which the Colonels end up losing 3-0.
We can see that we're about set for the coin toss here. Magruder will be in the blue, and Kennedy, of course, will be in the white. Kennedy is going to get the choice here. They, again, are playing very well defensively, only allowing 43 points so far this season.
Kennedy is one, and they will receive at the scoreboard. Good luck, gentlemen.
So Kennedy will be starting out on offense, taking the kickoff. And you can be watching for Kennedy to test on the ground. Watch for running backs Omar Nelson and Awasu Wilson. Also watch for Fola Awaska, who has actually averaged 7 yards a carry. Awaska has gained 280 yards in 4 games. Nelson has 230. He's averaging over 5 yards a carry, so they can grind it out. They have a very good line.
They certainly do, and they're big. Big John Bauer at 6'2", 245 pounds, plays a left tackle. Joe Weston, as we mentioned earlier, 5'9", 240 pounds, plays a right guard. And Richard Reddix at 5'11", 275 pounds, right tackle. Julian Norman plays the center. He's 6 feet, 230. So they got some big, strong guys up front, and they'll most generally keep the ball on the ground.
We're about set for the kickoff now. Last year, Kennedy was beaten, shut out by Magruder 14-0 at their homecoming game, so you can bet that Kennedy is out here for a little bit of revenge. So it should be a good ball game. Vince Petroli will be kicking off for Magruder. He keeps it low. A good kick to start the game. The ball carrier moves it up to about the 35-yard line. Good field position. That was Eric Kearney, who is the quarterback for Kennedy.
That's number 82, Keith Uhas, on the tackle.
You can see that Ruff will be at tight end, Bauer will be at tackle. You have the rest of the linemen. Kearney will be at quarterback, Nelson and Wilson at the running back, and watch for Awaska. It's a tight formation. As we said, they hand off on a running play, and that's Awaska. And Magruder was ready for that one.
That was Rodney Stansberry coming up to make the initial contact. Rodney plays the linebacker position. He's a senior at 5'7", 180 pounds, but very quick and very strong.
Jones comes into the ball game at split end for Kennedy.
Linebacker
it's now
for
second
Magruder.
down. There was a little loss on the play, about a half yard. Go ahead, Billy.
I said the linebackers are very, very active for the Colonels. Watch him. Helly, Stansberry.
Unusual here. Kearney throws and completes the pass to Minta, who is the backup quarterback. and a big gain, first down for Kennedy. We told you before that Kennedy is not prone to pass much. In fact, the team in total has only attempted 28 passes on the season, and they've only completed 6 prior to that one. So Magruder was certainly not expecting them to do that, and that's a 1st and 10, and the Kennedy Cavaliers are in the Colonel's territory now. Kearney calling the signal, handoff is up the middle. I believe it was Nelson. Omar Nelson.
It was a quick slant behind the right guard that time. Tackle made by Big John Towles. 5'10", 220-pound senior for the Colonels.
2nd down and 6 now for the Cavaliers as they move the ball on that first down play. Ball is just over the 40 to the 39 of Magruder. A wing here to the near side. Here's Nelson again, but this time Magruder sniffs it out, and he gets no gain on the play.
Pretty good defensive surge by the left side of that defense. Again, led by Rodney Stansberry. Plays the outside linebacker. Again, these linebackers for the Colonels are very, very active.
Chris Gray comes back into the ball game. Gray and Jones are shuttling plays in for Kennedy. It's now a 3rd down with 9:18 to go here in the first quarter, early in this ball game between these two Division III rivals. Looks like Magruder's showing blips. Little draw does not work as Magruder plays tough defense there, forcing a 4th down.
Good defense that time. It was Brian Hines on the initial contact. A little help from Dan Helly.
So Folo Owaska, the back who's averaging 7 yards a carry for Kennedy, gets very little on the ground here, and Kennedy is showing punt. Of course, the ball is in Magruder territory, but this early in the ball game, they probably will be content to back the Colonels up deep in their own territory.
Watch
Nope.
Bruce Ballard.
Fake here, a fake, and it's good. The pass was complete to Matt George, a split end, a backup split end. Number 7, Omar Nelson, threw the ball. He was lined up as a blocker on that play, so he's showing some razzle-dazzle here early in this ball game, and they get a 1st down.
At that time, the Magruder defense was going for the block punt, and the ball was snapped to the up back. He made the pass out to George. He took it downfield for a 1st down.
Ball is now at the 23-yard line of Magruder. 1st and 10. Off tackle on this near side. That's Owaska, and he gets what looks to be about 5 or 6 yards on the play.
Fola Owaska, the leading ground gainer for the Kennedy Cavaliers.
And probably Magruder's best defensive player, Bruce Ballard, forced him out. Linebacker, but he gets a lot of yards on that. It's 2nd down and 3.
Owaska's a gliding type runner, Kelly. He's a 6-footer, 170.
Gray is split now, near side. There's a wing on the other side as Kearney calls the signals. Hands off up the middle, and that line opens up a big hole for Nelson. And that's a 1st down again for the Cavaliers. A very impressive drive, Billy.
At that big front wall, again, we talked about John Bauer and Julian Normand, Joe Weston, Richard Reddix, and Young O doing a superb job up front.
We also mentioned how Magruder, as a young team, rebuilding mode is just not set yet on defense, and this has been their problem so far in this season. All right, with 1st down, the Cavaliers go at it again. The deep back, not much there though. That was Owusu Wilson. I had to eat a lemon before I say his first name, Owaska, but we'll get it before the game's out. He doesn't get much.
Owusu's a fine running back for the Cavaliers. Had to sit out the last 2 weeks with an injury.
That ball is now at the 3-yard line, 2nd down. Cavaliers knocking on the door for the first score here in this ball game. We're halfway through this first quarter. Eric Kearney at quarterback. Handoff up the middle. That's close. He's in. That's Omar Nelson in for the score. 5'11", 195-pound junior takes it in for the Cavaliers, and they draw first blood.
That's a good second effort that time, as he was met at the line of scrimmage, broke a tackle, and somehow found his way to pay dirt.
Well, the line play there, the Cavaliers certainly impressive. Cavaliers showing a unusual shift there, lining up left for this extra point and then coming back into formation. High snap, but he gets it down. Nelson was the kicker on that play. A great job by Eric Kearney to bring that snap down into position. But the extra point attempt was wide. He was not able to get it, so he wasn't able to set it down just quite right to get the confidence of the kicker. So the Cavaliers, however, do go ahead 6-0 over Magruder in a very impressive drive.
Yeah, it was a 9-play drive covering 65 yards, Kelly, combined with 7 running plays and 2 passing plays, 2 surprising passing plays that picked up 39 big yards.
They mixed it up good, and that's, of course, what you want to do on offense. And now the Kennedy Cavaliers will be kicking off to Magruder with 6 minutes and 42 to go in the first quarter. Nelson is kicking off. Darrell Wilbanks is back for Magruder.
Along with Bruce Ballard.
Nelson line drives this kick deep into Magruder territory, taken at the goal line, fumbled into the end zone.
That's Ballard, who's unable to handle.
It'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 20. That was a great kick by Nelson, making it hard to handle. This is the replay of the touchdown. You can see the hole that opened up there for Nelson, and he gets the touchdown. And as Billy said, Nelson showed good leg drive there, bringing it into the end zone for the first score of this ball game.
Okay, the Colonels are going to line up in that power I set, Kelly, with no wide receivers. Here comes Ballard.
Gee, guess what? A running play. This is Roy Lester's bread and butter. Grind it out. That was Ballard.
That I formation, that's a power I with 3 running backs lined up behind Andy McLean.
Ballard is averaging close to 4 yards a carry. He's gained 265 yards, which is certainly respectable for this point in the season. He's tough. He's a big fella. Strong. Same power I. This time the option by McLean. And he gets some yardage, but it's not quite enough for a first down.
That time Andy McLean moving to his right, faked the handoff to Bruce Ballard, came out, ran the option, decided to keep it.
Ball is set at the 26-yard line. They've got to get to about the 31 for a first down. McLean gained about 67 yards against Einstein, so they will run that option. Third down now.
Comes Bruce Ballard.
He's close to a first down, but not quite there, as the Kennedy Cavaliers defense closed in on him. Number 65, John Bauer, big defensive tackle. Bauer goes 240.
And Magruder's power I, Kelly, is running right into the teeth of that Kennedy defense. And nose guard and both those tackles, Reddix, Weston, and Bauer, are the best down linemen.
Magruder is forced to punt. A flag has been thrown. That was Ryder punting the ball. Magruder has good coverage there.
Very good coverage. That was Keith Uhas.
Awaska was trying to go around the end there, and no way.
On both the kickoff and the subsequent punt, Keith Uhas, the first man downfield for the Colonels, to make the stop.
Penalty is against the Cavaliers. That just may give Magruder a first down. We saw last week how mistakes hurt a fine team, as Seneca Valley, who quite frankly outplayed Springbrook, lost by 1 point to the Blue Devils because of primary overs and penalties. And here the Magruder Colonels get new life as a penalty is called against the Cavaliers. So the ball moves up now to the 44-yard line of the Colonels. Power eye again. McLean at quarterback. Handoff is to Ballard right up the middle.
And he runs over a couple people, Kelly.
He bangs it close to a first down and into Cavalier territory.
Big Bruce Ballard's a tough guy to knock down. He's not only big and strong, but he has tremendous speed and lots of desire.
Ballard is 230 pounds according to the program. And he hit hard on that one. Second down and short. Very simple formation, just straight power eye, and ball is handed off that time to the second man.
That was Mickey Myers that time, sophomore running back.
And a first down for the Magruder Colonels. That's Magruder's first down. The drive by the Cavaliers ate up half of the quarter. The opening drive is now down to about 3 minutes and 49 seconds here in the first quarter. Ball is at the 44 of the Cavaliers. McLean hands off over the left side.
That's Ballard again, Kelly.
He gets about 3 on the play.
Not uncharacteristic for Royal Leicester Ball Club. Most of their offense will be from tackle to tackle. And Ballard's still on the ground. That's not a good sign.
Bruce Ballard is probably one of their most valuable players, certainly. Does not look good. Roy Lester is out there to check him out.
That left knee, let's hope that's a cramp. It's Roy Lester in the silver gray jacket and Lee Branthover standing beside him.
Coach Lester has over 200 wins, his many years of coaching in the county.
And the surprising thing about Roy Lester is he's won 80% of the games that he's coached. It's a phenomenal winning percentage.
You think he would have had that if he'd stayed at University of Maryland?
I certainly do. He did a fine job and probably recruited the best recruiting class in the history of the University of Maryland, Randy White and some other individuals over there.
Coach Marvin Garlick of Kennedy was talking with Owusu Wilson there, who plays a defensive back position. Ballard is up now. He's walking off the field on his own. Well, he's being helped now, but obviously a problem with his left leg. Looked like the knee. We certainly hope he's all right and can get back in here.
He's a very important performer for these Colonels. Plays all the special teams as well as offense and defense.
He's the leader in tackles on the defense as well as his value on the offense. So with second down, McLean looks to throw, but he has to eat it.
Fumble.
He fumbles the ball, and the Cavaliers have it. Referee has to decide if it was. They're calling it a fumble, and the Cavaliers have the ball. He raised his arm to throw Looked for a second like there was forward motion, but the ball never left his hand, so it was ruled a fumble. And the Cavaliers get another break here, or make the break on a great rush there of Andy McLean.
It appeared that Andy McLean was going to pass, could not find a receiver, attempted to pull the ball down and fumbled.
Minta is split. Running play up the middle gets about 5 for the Cavaliers. That's Owaska.
Pola Owaska, the leading ground gainer for the Cavaliers, stopped again by Rodberry, linebacker for the Colonels.
Brings up a 2nd and a long 6 for the Cavaliers. Their defense has done this all year, played tough, averaging only 40 or having only 43 points scored on them, only 10 points a game. So the Colonels are going to be pressured the whole ball game. The Cavaliers move on up close to a first down. Good blocking. Zawaska again on the carry. Can understand now why he gets 7 yards of carry. That line just moves out.
And he's a slashing type runner coming from that flanker or wingback position.
Here's the fumble replay. Andy McLean, as you can see, sprints out to his right, looks to throw. Yeah, obviously that was a good call by the referee. He tucked the ball back in, but was unable to hold on to it as the Cavaliers pressured.
As opposed to taking the sack, it's always there to throw that ball down in the dirt or throw it out of bounds.
You got to hand it to Mike Ruff and Richard Reddix of the Kennedy defense there, and Omar Nelson, who put pressure on him. Well, the Cavaliers are still on the move with the first down. They're in Magruder territory. They're at the 37-yard line now with 1st and 10. They had an opening drive on their first possession of 65 yards, flawless. Ate up most or a good half of the quarter, and they've got it again.
Omar Nelson just carrying people, Kelly.
Grinding away. The line opens the hole, and the back gets speed up and is able to carry people along.
That time running behind left guard, Young O, and the center, Julian Normert. And they simply move the Colonels back.
They cross the 30 and are at the 27-yard line, and Magruder calls a timeout. Coach Roy Lester wants to figure out how to stop this Cavalier team.
Now, Bruce Ballard is usually the middle linebacker right behind those 2 tackles and generally can clog up the middle. But with him on the sidelines, his defense is going to have to pull together.
Well, as we mentioned before, they're young. And it's going to take a while to for these sophomores and juniors to get the experience and also grow a bit, get the kind of strength to go up against a veteran line like the Cavaliers.
John Bauer, Young O, Julian Normert, Joe Weston, and Richard Reddix doing a superb job up front.
So far in the games we've televised this year, Billy, we've seen teams that have good experienced Lions. It seems to be the year for them.
Big, aggressive offensive lines.
Saw it with Springbrook and Seneca Valley last week. We saw it in a couple previous weeks with teams. Makes a big difference to have that beef up front. Just look at the Washington Redskins. 2nd down and short. Nelson again. First down for the Cavaliers. They just keep grinding it out. Don't have to pass when you do that, Billy.
No, you can expect the Cavaliers to keep this thing on the ground. And if they can punch in another touchdown, they're going to be in a very, very good position since Magruder does not have a big play offense.
Gray splits to the near side now. With first down.
Nice tackle that time.
Handoff is to Owusu Wilson. He's a pretty big back too, 195 pounds. Both of the backs, Nelson and Wilson, are listed as 195.
Keith Uhas on the tackle.
But Magruder did what they need to do more of. Shut him down pretty good there. About a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8. Kearney brings him out. Wide pitch here to Wilson. Gets a lot of yards out of it, close to a first down.
Owusu.
Flag has been thrown, however. Holding is the call, and the Cavaliers get their second penalty. The first one gave Magruder the ball back after a 4th down situation. This one will just push them back a bit, but it does prevent what looked like a first down. Ball gets moved back to the
Still second.
34-yard line, where it will be 2nd and what looks like 20.
Just taking them out of field position here. They're in position to score.
It's only 15 seconds left here in the first quarter of play. They'll get this play off. We've got Owaska to this side. Well, apparently the official time kept on the field is different, and that's the end of the first quarter. With the Kennedy Cavaliers impressively showing some strength on offense, they lead the Magruder Colonels 6-0, and we'll be back. We're about to start the second quarter here, the game between the Kennedy Cavaliers and the Magruder Colonels. Kelly Burke and Billy Gordon with you, and for the 3rd time, the Cavaliers pass the ball to Nelson, Kearney to Nelson. 3 completions by the Cavaliers, a team that has not showed pass at all this year, Billy.
Exactly. They had completed 8 passes coming into this ball game. Eric Kearney had completed 4. That was a fine-looking throw that time to Nelson. Picked up 9 yards.
Got some of that ground back, lost by the penalty. 3rd down and about 11 now. The ball at the 25-yard line of the Magruder Colonels.
That was a play-action pass that time, meaning he faked off to the running back before dropping back to throw.
Dave Jones rushes in at split end for the Cavaliers. Here's a pitch out. Good pursuit by the Magruder Colonels.
Excellent pursuit that time. Big John Towles.
Owusu Wilson was the ball carrier.
Towles that time making some penetration.
That brings up a 4th down now for the Cavaliers. They got a decision to make here with the ball set at the 22-yard line.
Looks like about 4th and 6, Kelly. I say they go for it.
Chris Gray comes into the ball game, gives a play to Eric Kearney, and it looks like they are going for it. Minta comes in as well. Owaska comes out. They're going for it with 4th and long for sure. It's about 6 to 8 yards. A timeout is called by the Chris.
Well, obviously Eric Kearney saw something he didn't like on the defensive side that time.
And that's a good timeout. When you're this deep into the other team's territory, you've had ball control, you feel like you can move the ball, your line's playing well. You want to get it right. It's really unusual. We did not expect to see Kennedy pass as they have, and they've been very successful at it. We may see more of it.
Very definitely. Omar Nelson's been an integral part of this Cavalier offense. He's carried the ball 6 times for 26 yards, caught 1 pass for 9 yards, threw 1 4th down pass for 18 yards, and has a touchdown run, as we saw earlier in the first quarter.
The Cavaliers, who do not have a touchdown pass this season, are 3 for 3 passing department today for 48 yards. So obviously they're exploiting the perception that they're a run-only team. 2 receivers split to the far side now. On 4th down, let's see what the Cavaliers can do. They pitch. This is Nelson trying to make it. He throws the ball incomplete.
That's a super play out there by time by sophomore linebacker Dan Helly.
Put pressure on Nelson. Nelson tried to get the pass complete to Minta, backup quarterback, but he was unable to hold on to the ball, and Magruder will get the ball back. They held. That's a good sign for Magruder. They needed some way to stop this Cavalier team that was moving almost at will.
Omar Nelson's a very talented athlete. That's a good throw. Real good coverage that time by Dan Helly.
Now come the Colonels now with Andy McLean at quarterback.
Bruce Ballard's back, Kelly.
Well, that's good news for the Colonels. And he gets about 4 yards on that play. Crosses the 25-yard line. That'll bring up a second down.
It doesn't seem to be favoring that left leg. That's good news. Certainly good news for the Colonels. I don't know if it's good news for the Cavaliers.
Well, Ballard, besides being the best player on defense, can run the ball, catch the ball, and do a whole lot.
That's Andy McLean going around the right side. Fake underneath the Ballard.
He gets what looks to be about 5 yards or so, bringing up a third down. Not enough for a first down. Third and about 2 for the Magruder Colonels. They haven't had too much going here offensively. They need to get it going. They've only had 1 first down to my recollection. Receiver is split to the far side now. Big third down play. Off tackle on the right side. It looks like Ballard got a first down.
Yes, that time he was stopped, but just surged through 2 players on the left side of that defensive line for the Cavaliers. That's the first down that they have gained offensively. The other first down was via the penalty route.
Ruff and Reddix and Nelson in on the stop there. So it's a first down at about the 33-yard line. The Colonels with 8:32 to go in the second quarter. Kennedy is ahead 6-0. They have controlled the ball through much of this first half. Magruder's trying to change that and change the momentum. Player goes in motion. There's a fumble. McLean fumbles for the second time. Magruder recovers, however. He recovered his own fumble.
Yeah, football's such a game of momentum. After they worked hard to get a first down, a mistake sets them back. Now they bring second and 14, 15 yards. And with a ball control offense, that's going to make things very, very difficult.
So the Magruder Colonels will start from the 30 now, 2nd and 14.
That's McLean's second fumble here in the first half.
Mike Graham is split far side. McLean looks to throw. He's got to get some yards back. He throws a long one. Receiver is open, but he has to pull back. The pass is short. Good defense by the Kennedy Cavaliers. If McLean could have thrown it long enough, that would have been a completion.
That was Keith Uhas, double covered, going deep for the Colonels. McLean's pass was certainly underthrown and nearly intercepted.
He had both receivers to this side open. Chose the deeper pass, but didn't get it quite far enough.
Yeah, Dan Helly was open out in the left flat, and I thought Andy should have gone to Dan, who was open.
So with 3rd down and 14, Magruder will try again. They set it back in motion. He rolls to his right this time. McLean throws again long. Man,
got Mike Graham.
It's caught. Mike Graham catches that ball. No, called incomplete. And Minta got his hands on that ball, or is that Awaska? Awaska got his hands on that ball as Graham had it in his hands, and as they hit the ground, the ball came loose, and the official declared it an incompletion. Boy, he looked like he had that.
He certainly did. Looked like he had possession.
Magruder is not happy with that call, but that is the call. A high snap, good recovery by the punter. Not a great kick, however. It takes a Cavalier bounce. So
Short kick.
The Cavaliers will have good field position. They'll have the ball at their own 47-yard line with 7:12 to go in the second quarter.
Excellent field position. This Cavalier defense is looking good against the run. They're going to force the Colonels to put the ball up.
That was only a 24-yard punt by Ryder, giving the Cavaliers very good field position. Cavaliers keep it on the ground. Taking it to the outside is Wilson, Owusu Wilson. And he gets a first down for the Cavaliers. Most of their success has been up the middle or off tackle. But Owusu showed his stuff there. Wilson averages 4 yards a carry, so none of the Kennedy backs are slouches at all. Because that big line really makes a difference.
Quick hitter to Nelson.
He gets good yarder. 5 or 6 on the play.
They're moving forward as Brian Hines on the tackle for the Colonels.
Second down and 5.
Can't afford to give up 5 yards on first down on the ground. The defense is going to stay in the hole.
Dave Jones is split now. A wing back also to that far side. The handoff is to Wilson. He's close to a first down. Looks like he's got it. Crosses the 30-yard line. The Colonel line is just having trouble with that big Kennedy line. Well, they did not get the first down. It's third down. It looks like about a yard. And Chris Gray comes to this side now, wide. Handoff is to Wilson. He's got a first down as far as I can see. The Cavaliers are on the move. 5:38 to go in this quarter.
Owusu Wilson. 6 carries now. 34 yards.
The ball is on the 27-yard line of Magruder. Cavaliers took the first drive and scored. Nelson over the left guards. He doesn't get much as Magruder closes up on him.
Bruce Ballard clocked that time.
Glad to see his leg recovered. He leads the Colonels in tackles, a very active linebacker. And the Magruder defense needs that experience. Second down and 8. Kennedy has mixed it up in this first half, running most of the time, but throwing effectively for 3 completions. 3 out of 3. They're keeping it on the ground, though, as Wilson carries it over the left side. Fumble. Magruder recovers it. And Magruder has turned it around. Billy, that's what they needed to change this momentum.
That's a big-time hit over there by Darrell Wilbanks and Brian Hines.
I think Wilbanks recovered it and made a quick reaction there when the ball came loose. A great play by the Colonel, and Nelson is shaken up on the play. Kennedy's fine running back. So both teams have had their problems holding on to the ball in the first half here, as both teams have fumbled and lost one. Magruder actually had trouble last week. They lost 3 fumbles in the Einstein game. but still ended up winning. So Magruder is able to still keep it close. It's 6-0. They get the ball back, even though Kennedy was moving the ball pretty well against them.
Now, Omar Nelson seems to be in a great deal of pain down there. He's still down, and they've asked the players to leave the field, so I believe the rescue squad is gonna roll.
Well, that's unfortunate to see with anyone, but Nelson is a very valuable part of the Kennedy offense. He's had 230 yards rushing and over a 5-yard average. Here's a look at how that play happened. That's Wilson carrying the ball, hit hard, and Wilbanks recovers it.
And it looked like his right knee was twisted on the stop. He was straight up when he was hit. And it looks like his right knee, or perhaps his right ankle.
Oh, I was saying it was Nelson. It looks like it's Wilson. Nelson was kneeling down early in this. He was just looking to see how Wilson was.
So it's number 28.
Owusu Wilson. He's got all the backs for Kennedy have performed well, and he's averaged 4 yards a carry. He was hit hard by Hines, the tackle for Magruder.
He was hit and stood up and twisted. Carried the ball 6 times for a little better than 30 yards.
The Magruder Colonels are trying to unseat the Cavaliers, who are leading the division right now. Both have the same records overall, but the Cavaliers have won 2 in the division. And while we wait for things to improve here for Wilson, I want to let you know that Damascus is going to face the Poolesville Indians next week. Damascus is doing fairly well this year. Poolesville's having its problems, but they always come up with a scrappy team. That's Saturday, October 13th, Sunday, October 14th. You can see the times, 10 a.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m., and we also show now on Monday at 7 p.m., October 15th. Make sure to watch. Well, Wilson is still down, Billy. It's no fun to see this kind of thing happen.
No, and this Cavalier team can ill afford to lose anyone, certainly someone as valuable as Owusu Wilson. As we said at the top of the show, the Cavaliers dress 21 ball players. And Owusu is a guy who plays both ways. I was talking to one of the assistant coaches, Al DiStefano, before the game. He indicated to me that 9 players on this Cavalier football team play both ways.
But they have a good, solid team, even though they're not a big team. In fact, I heard a couple of coaches early in the season, after a couple of games, feel that Kennedy is as tough as any team in the county, and it should be interesting as the season progresses.
Joe Weston, their tackle and nose guard, is playing with a fractured foot tonight, and certainly has looked very good, both offensively and defensively.
The Cavaliers are trying to keep that division lead going. They were 7-3 last year, 3-2 in the division. This year so far, they've beaten Sherwood and Paint Branch. Paint Branch is starting to get its act together. Same thing they did last year. Started out 0-2 and are coming back. And of course, Magruder. But the Cavaliers lost to Churchill and BCC. Magruder beat Paint Branch in overtime. Real exciting game. And then they lost big to Springbrook. But Springbrook, you know, is a real tough team. Well, since Wilson is still being attended to, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Turn us on and discover a world of knowledge on MCPS TV. Journey through different lands, experience cultures abroad, and right here in Montgomery County. We're Cable Channel 52, MCPS TV.
Well, we just had while you were away, a nice round of applause for Owusu, number 28 of the Kennedy Cavaliers, running back, who injured his knee and was taken off in an ambulance here, causing a little delay in the game there on that play. But we're back with the action now as the Magruder Colonels start with first down, and the pass from Andy McLean to Graham, complete for about 9 yards.
Play action fake to Bruce Ballard into the line. Mike Graham running about a 10-yard hook on the right side.
The Cavaliers lost more than just the ball on that previous play as Wilson goes down to an injury. He's a running back and plays defensive back, and they also lost the ball. They lead 6-0 on their first drive of the game. They went all the way down for a touchdown, and they've been moving the ball pretty consistently, but a couple of mistakes have cost them in that have a bigger lead than 6-0. We have 4 minutes left to go now in the first half. Magruder is still not enough for a first down, but it's second and very short. So they're keeping it close. This young team, it's starting 8 sophomores. And that's a load when you're going up against the kind of experienced line that the Kennedy Cavaliers have. They're holding their own in this one, even though the line play has obviously been in favor of Kennedy. Second and short here. McLean trips, pulling away from the center.
On second and about 6 inches, Andy McLean was going back to throw the football. He slipped, and in high ball, once your knee touches the ground, doesn't matter how it occurs, play is automatically blown dead.
See Marvin Garlick there throwing the defensive signals into the team. The pat of the cheek, it means something big, don't know what. It's third down now and 5, and that was a costly play here. They only had inches to go. I'm surprised they didn't quarterback sneak it. They give it to fake it to Ballard up the middle, go on an option around the near side. It's not enough for a first down. So Magruder is shooting themselves in the foot here. Fourth down and 2 with 2:57 to go in the first quarter, or first half unofficially. And the punting team is coming in. Earlier in the game, the Kennedy Cavaliers showed all sorts of looks that we weren't expecting. They ran a fake punt, success pass to Matt George. A good kick this time by Ryder. And a good return by Awaska as he brings it across midfield for the Cavaliers. Down to the about the 40-yard line of the Magruder Colonels. A great return. It was a good punt. But
Awaska.
Good blocking to this near side for the Cavaliers as the Colonels didn't get down quick enough to cover. And the Cavaliers, with 2:26 to go in the half, are into Magruder territory. They've had good field position, good ball control the whole half. The receiver is split to the far side now. Kearney hands off to Awaska. He gets a lot of yards, averaging 7 yards a carry so far this season. The line once again opened up a big hole tackle.
And junior running back again, who leads the Cavaliers in rushing. That gliding style.
Bauer and O and center Julian Normet opening up the hole. Jones is in now, split wide. And a second down, and it's a pass from Kearney, the 4th of the game. Incomplete, in and out of the hands of Mike Ruff. It was not a bad pass, a little behind it, but certainly catchable, went through his hands.
It certainly did. Both hands on the football. At times, every opportunity to catch it. No contact from the defense.
So Kennedy won't bat 1,000 in the passing department now. They were 3 for 3, they're 3 for 4 now. Third down play here with 1:44 to go in the half.
Great.
Ball is handed off to Nelson, and he gets a first down for the Cavaliers.
That's a great surge by that offensive line that time, and Omar Nelson simply following those big guys.
A timeout. I'm sorry, Billy.
Julian Norman, Joe Weston, and Richard Reddick on the right-hand side of that offensive line.
Timeout is called as Kennedy wants to stop that clock to be able to continue this drive and get a score, another score, before the first half ends. Awaska's punt return sent this drive up as he crossed midfield. He had originally taken the ball at around the 35 or so. Made a good return. The Cavaliers are once again making it tough on the Colonels. One of the Magruder staff was telling me, Billy, that normally Roy Lester would play 4 down linemen. He's having to play 3 now because he doesn't have the personnel with this young team, and that of course means they're vulnerable to the run.
Exactly. They're very vulnerable to the run, and again, they've given up more points than any other club in the division.
And with a team like Kennedy, which moves very well on the ground, they eat up the clock and they don't give your offense much opportunity, so you've got to make the most of it when you do get the ball. Kearney looking to throw. He throws, got a man. It's caught. That's Chris Gray, and he gets out of bounds. A real heads-up play by Chris Gray.
Fine looking pass by Eric Kearney. Play action, fake the running play into the line, roll to his right.
Brought down by Tom Yu and Ballard again. Ballard's everywhere on that defense, but it's a first down again for the Colonels. The ball is at the 13-yard line. With 1:29 to go, they have a receiver split to the far side. Nelson over left tackle, gets about 4 or 5.
At time, again, our time on the scoreboard clock is unofficial. The official time is kept on the field.
They're going without a huddle. Kearney brings them up. He's been impressive this first half. He's 4 for 5 in passing. A little confusion there. Receiver has to set. 2 receivers split now on this one. His thrown.
Procedure penalty.
Looks like some movement there.
Very definitely. That's a long count. And there was movement before the snap.
And the clock wound down to below a minute. It's showing 56 seconds unofficially. Cavaliers are ahead 6-0. Trying to go up by another touchdown. You can see the call.
Now this penalty will cost them 5 yards, Kelly, but it'll stop the clock and give them a chance to regroup.
Don't have to use another timeout. And when you're this close, you can do just as much 5 yards back. If you're passing, you just throw into the end zone from 5 yards back. Of course, it does make the run a little more difficult. But Kennedy has had success passing the ball. Would not be surprised to see them try it in this series. Magruder has been tough from the 20 on in. The Colonels would really like to stop this drive. They've been able to hold them most of the first half when it counted. Of course, the Cavaliers hurt themselves with a fumble on the last possession. but that was actually caused by real good hitting by the Magruder defense. A tackle by the name of Hines, Brian Hines. Unfortunately for the Cavaliers, it also injured Owusu Wilson, their running back. All right, 2nd down and 10. Ball is back outside the 10 again to about the original line of scrimmage, the 14 or so. Kearney looking to throw. He's getting a rush. He does throw it. A good play by the quarterback, however.
Smart play. Avoid the sack. The ball out of bounds. The clock is stopped. You get another shot at it. That time he was pressured by number 42 of the Colonels.
Charles McFarland, the defensive end. He played the sprint out pass there very effectively that time. But Kearney had a heads-up move as he threw the ball out of bounds, stopping the clock. He's not sacked, doesn't put them any further back. It was a heads-up play. But he's played a very good first half.
He certainly has.
3rd down now, though. As Magruder is playing him tough. Kearney gets this throw away, but throws it behind the receiver. Mike Ruff didn't lead him enough there, and it's incomplete, bringing up a 4th down.
Well, looks like they got their field goal team coming on, Kelly.
So the Cavaliers are going to try, it looks like, and set a field goal here. As Kearney is getting set to hold, Nelson will do the kicking. That is, if they don't fake it. They faked a punt earlier. Nope, they set it down. Good rush by Magruder, and they block it.
Bruce Ballard.
To scramble for the ball. Magruder picks it up. They run with it, and they're brought down with 37 seconds to go.
That's Dan Helly.
Over midfield. Magruder put quite a rush on there. Nelson could not get the kickoff. Great play by the Colonels as they thwart another drive by the Cavaliers. The young defense of the Colonels, exploited much of this season by other teams, coming up tough.
That was Dan Helly on the cover. Well, there's the block. You'll see Ballard go down with it. And there's Dan Helly, number 22, picks it up.
Didn't quite get the number of the person who blocked it, but a great play there by the Colonels. They have only 37 seconds, however, to get a score here. You know that Magruder does not like to pass much, but this is an obvious situation where if you want to get something going, you got to get some yardage out of it. We'll see what Roy Lester discusses with McLean here. The official keeps the official time. We don't know how accurate the 37 seconds is.
Be interesting to see what the Colonels do here, if they attempt to score and put the ball in the air, or they continue to grind it out and take it into the locker room with only 6 points down.
Well, McLean is throwing, splits far, throws a wobbler up in the air, but the
Dan
receiver
Helly
comes back for it.
Go out of bounds, Helly.
He didn't go out of bounds, he cut inside. They should call a time, they do. With 27 seconds left, a wing and a prayer with that throw by McLean, but the receiver played heads-up ball and cut back on it, and it was a completion. Looked good, even though it didn't look too good in the air.
As sophomore running back and linebacker Dan Helly, just a sophomore in 10th grade here at Magruder.
And actually, Omar Nelson had pretty good coverage on the receiver, but he didn't have his eye on the ball and was not able to come back as quickly as the receiver. And of course, as my son tells me, who played defensive back, you got to watch the eyes of the receiver, because the eyes of the receiver tell you whether he's the ball's coming close or not.
That's an excellent recovery by Helly as he stopped and came back to make that catch. I thought perhaps once he caught the football, he should have got out of bounds immediately, however, and saved that timeout.
But they were quick, the Magruder players, to call a timeout. Didn't lose too much time on the clock. Got the most out of it they could. But the ball is now set.
That's a 29-yard
29 yard. Let's see,
the 24-yard line.
24-yard line. Not markers on this near side of the field, only on the far side. It's blocked by some of the players over there. First down for Magruder. They don't have a wide split here. You would think they'd be passing. Play action pass. McLean does get out to the sideline.
Mike Graham.
Completed to Mike Graham.
He's their possession receiver.
On paper, McLean's completion percentage is actually just a little under 50%. It's not bad. So he is capable of throwing the ball. In this first half, he's tried to throw long passes, and he hasn't been set to throw those long passes. That kind of a play is more of what would be within his range, Billy.
That was a possession-type pass that time as Mike Graham ran the sideline pattern that time. The ball was laid on the money. He ran right to the sticks, picked up exactly 10 yards, and got out of bounds.
That's Graham's 6th reception on the year. He averages 28 yards a catch, so throw and get it to Graham. He gets some real estate.
Scored
All
2
right.
tonight for 20 yards.
First down now. The ball at the 15. McLean again looking to throw. Throws into the end zone.
Mike
It's caught.
Graham!
Mike Graham, but he's out of bounds. The referee, the official, says he caught it over the end line. They're discussing it. But the official is not going to change his mind, as that was a great throw by McLean. Not a perfect spiral, it was an old Bobby Lane pass, but it was there. I guess I'm dating myself, Billy.
Bobby Lane, huh? Pittsburgh Steelers.
Detroit Lions.
Back in the days before face masks were used in this.
Yeah, when all those pretty mugs emerged from playing 10 years in the pros. All right, with second down now, 15 seconds to go. Magruder will try it again. McLean rolls this time left. Hard throw for a quarterback.
Got
He gets
Dan
it out
Helling.
there. Helling,
That's a
touchdown.
No, that's Mike Ruff. No.
Number 82.
That's
Magruder
Uhas.
making a game of it.
Keith Uhas.
Keith Uhas gets a touchdown for the Magruder Colonels. And this ball game is tied up. A flag was thrown, but the call was against the Cavaliers. What a play, and Andy McLean comes through there. A great series passing the ball. Maybe it'll cause Roy Lester to rethink his game plan. Here's the try for the extra point.
Petroli.
The kick is good, and Magruder has taken the lead here. As Petroli gets the extra point. And Magruder kind of shocks the Kennedy Cavaliers, who really have outplayed Magruder. Here's the pass, you can see it, a perfect throw. Great throw by Andy McLean. Two defenders there, but they allow a step on him, and that's all that Andy McLean needed.
And we look at how the momentum changes in a football game, Kelly. The Kennedy Cavaliers, and about 60 seconds ago on the clock, about a minute left, we're down on about the 7-8 yard line with a second down. The field goal attempt was blocked at the 20. Kelly recovered, ran upfield about 10-15 yards. Andy McLean leads him downfield with a couple excellent passes. And we have a 7-6 ball game.
It just proves, again, how much fun this game can be. All the predictors can say how things are supposed to go, but they don't always go that way wonderfully. And Magruder, a running team, makes it on the pass during that series. An onside kick is tried there by Magruder, but it's recovered by the Cavaliers with 8 seconds to go. We'll see whether Kennedy will try some kind of Hail Mary play here with only 8 seconds. They, Cavaliers, had time of possession the first half, had well-constructed drives, took them close to and deep into Magruder territory, but something each time prevented them from scoring. In a couple of occasions, the Magruder Colonels defense. And I'll tell you, the Kennedy Cavaliers got to be shaking their heads at the way this first half has gone, having outplayed the Colonels. And the Colonels have got to be have their morale really helped out by that turn of events, as they now lead the Kennedy Cavaliers 7-6. And we'll be back with the second half of play in just a few minutes now. Cavaliers behind by 1 point. Colonels lead 7-6.
MCPS TV is Montgomery County Public Schools television, your education channel. In trouble with your homework? We're here to help. Want to know the candidates? Tune us in. We're news, entertainment, and information. Discover Montgomery County. MCPS TV.
Welcome back to Montgomery County's high school game of the week. A very interesting one here between the Magruder Colonels and the Kennedy Cavaliers. Magruder Colonel, young team, having difficulty on defense in the first few games of this season.
Kennedy, which goal would you like to defend?
Holding on tough in the first
Scoreboard,
half and
put your
coming
backs
back and
to
scoring a
scoreboard,
touchdown to
please,
take the lead
Magruder.
7-6 over the Kennedy Cavaliers with a
Magruder's
superior
choice,
line.
They've elected to receive.
Magruder
opposite the
will get a
scoreboard.
chance
Good luck,
to carry the ball first this half. They will receive. I'm Kelly Burke along with Billy Gordon here. Happy to bring you this game. Billy, what do you think has to be done here?
I'd look for the Colonels again to come out and to try and establish a ground attack. As we look at those first half stats, Kennedy a whopping 162 total yards to 86 for Magruder, most of that in that last drive. In terms of pass attempts, 4 for 8 for the Cavaliers, 4 for 7 for the Colonels. Rushing yardage, a total mismatch, 23 carries for 99 yards for the Cavaliers and 13 carries for 17 yards for the Colonels. There were 2 turnovers by Kennedy, 1 by the Colonels.
Importantly, turnovers and those penalties hurt the Cavaliers because in each case they were moving well into Magruder territory and moving the ball just like they did on their first drive, the first possession of the game when they scored. So without those turnovers and penalties, this could be a decidedly different game than it is now. But Magruder has played tough for a team starting 8 sophomores.
Okay, Darrell Wilbanks back to receive along with Bruce Ballard and Mickey Myers.
And Omar Nelson set to kick off for the Cavaliers, who hope to change the momentum of this game back in their favor, as that half ended with Magruder definitely on an up.
Wilbanks.
He hesitates a bit, but does get a decent run back close to the 40-yard line. And Magruder will have good field position to start this second half.
Haven't heard much from Darrell Wilbanks tonight. He's a sophomore running back.
Interestingly, the Colonels, who in a vintage fashion under Roy Lester like to run the ball, ended up with a 2-minute drill type drive that got them a score through passing. So we'll see what Mr. Lester does this second half.
Bruce Ballard.
Boy, Ballard hit hard there, but gains a good 6 yards. There was real contact on that play.
That was just a power sweep going to the left-hand side for the Colonels.
Second down now. The ball is about the 42-yard line. These are division rivals. Kennedy lost last year to Magruder, 14-0. They're out to get it back. They lead the division at this point.
Bruce Ballard once again.
He doesn't get much though. It'll bring up a third down.
We may see quite a bit of Bruce Ballard right, Bruce Ballard left, as long as the Colonels can maintain that 1-point lead.
And they, of course, will want to try to play mistake-free ball. And that's frequently best achieved by doing what Magruder likes to do most, running the ball.
Here comes Bruce Ballard. He's stopped.
He's close to a first down, but I'm not sure he's there, as the Cavalier line, that tough defensive line, Ruff, Reddix, Weston, Bauer, and Francis, hold tough there. They're going to have a measurement. It's just over the 45-yard line. Well, it's a first down for the Magruder Colonels. So that driving up the middle by Ballard gets the Magruder Colonels a first down.
Bruce Ballard
barely
again.
got it.
Here he comes, Kelly. And look at that power move forward.
And the line over that right side, Hines, Baker Smith, Uhas, Weston opening up a hole there, and Ballard doesn't need much. So Magruder has come out challenging Kennedy at the line. That was a losing battle for them in the first half as the Kennedy line pushed them around, but Roy Lester's obviously said, we got to take it to him.
Ballard's on the bench now. Wilbank's in that deep setback position. He's going to run it.
Come on a sweep, but that's snuffed out very well by Kennedy. Francis, the linebacker, penetrated and brought the back down. No gain on that play. 3rd down and 5. McLean passed successfully toward the end of the first quarter there. Although Magruder doesn't like to pass much, this is obviously a passing situation with the ball just over midfield. Magruder building a momentum that started toward the tail end of the first half.
That's Dan Helly that time going off the left tackle.
He does not get much, maybe 2 or 3. Ballard comes back into the ball game now. It's 4th down and 3, and the Colonels come into punt formation. Is back to receive. Here's Ryder's kick. It's a fair kick. Awaska gets it, but he's immediately down by the Colonels as he slipped on his first step. Good coverage, too, by the Colonels. Awaska had a good punt return in the first half. Obviously, the Colonels decided to play special teams a little better this time.
That was John Veccarilli on the stop. Good coverage.
All right, the Kennedy Cavaliers get their first possession of the second half with 8:26 to go in the 3rd quarter. They are behind by a point. A little bit of a surprise as they outplayed Magruder in the first half, but still ended up a point down. Eric Kearney is the quarterback. He hands off over the right side. Not much gain there as the Magruder Colonels played some tough defense on the carry. Hines and Smith in on that stop.
Field position crucial.
2nd down and 9 now for the Cavaliers. Another running play up the middle. Both teams are challenging each other at the line this half. Nelson on the carry. In the first half, the Cavaliers mixed it up, especially in their opening series. They even tried a fake punt, successfully getting a 1st down. Of course, the ball was in the Colonels' territory when they tried it, so it was a safe decision. But both teams coming out here in the second half pretty conservatively. 3rd down now and 4 yards to go. The back cuts it inside and gets a 1st down for the Cavaliers. Awaska on the carry. 1st down, Kennedy.
Power sweep coming behind the left side of that offensive line that time as Fola Awaska, the leading ground gainer, picks up the 1st down.
Jones is back into the ball game. He's split to the near side. Kearney is the quarterback. Nelson and Awaska are back there. So is Minta, who goes in motion. Nelson on the carry. Gets about 4 on that one. Up to the 35-yard line.
That time running behind Julian and Joe Weston.
Up to 34. It's 2nd down, 6. Gray comes back in. Chris Gray. He's a split end. Interestingly, Kennedy has had no TD passes still this year. They get their success on the ground. That was a slow play to develop there as Nelson got the handoff, but there's no quick fire out of there, and Magruder closed quickly.
He certainly did. That was Dan Helly and
number 72 also in on that stop.
That was Jamie Bakersmith along with Dan Helly on the stop.
Third down now. In order to get the momentum back, has to make something happen here. The receiver is split to the far side as Kearney calls the signals.
Waska, stop.
The Colonels come up tough there and stop the Cavaliers again. Towles in on that stop, or Tolles. John Tolles, a 220-pound tackle for Magruder.
And with a host of other colonels, Keith Uhas, Rodney Stansberry. He is short of the first down.
They are going to take a measurement, however. Doesn't look like he made it, but we'll know for sure here in a minute. Well, guess what?
Give me a break.
First down for the Cavaliers as they keep the drive going. It looked like Magruder had pulled a tough stop there to force a fourth down, but the Cavaliers get the spot and they get a first down. So from the 40-yard line, Cavaliers have a 1st and 10 with 4:32 to go in the third quarter. Nelson slips and falls, gets maybe a yard.
At time, Dan Helly penetrated to the backfield, and Nelson slipped trying to make the cut.
Second down, 9 for Kennedy. Magruder has to feel good at this point in the ball game. To be up by 1 point, to be holding a powerful team, even at this point in this half. Here's Kearney looking for an open receiver, can't find one, and he runs it. He gets a couple of yards, but he's hit hard and brought down by Magruder. Good coverage that time.
Tackle made by Brian Hines and Rodney Stansberry.
Hines is playing a good ball game. Good pursuit there from the defensive tackle. Brings up a third down for Kennedy. Kennedy was very successful in the first half passing the ball, going, I believe, 4 for 6 if I'm not mistaken. But neither team likes to pass much. It is a passing situation here. Let's see what he does. It's a keeper by Kearney. It looks like he's short of a first down. Driven out of bounds by Magruder. That's the first designed keeper we've seen from Kennedy tonight. Just a quarterback power sweep. And they are coming up short. 4th down and 3, and Kennedy will punt the ball. Jim Retzos punts the ball for Kennedy. Good snap, and the kick is off. End over end. Takes a Magruder bounce. Kennedy finally downs it at the 27-yard line, so Magruder will get pretty good field position to start this drive with 2:14 to go in the third quarter. So both teams trading the ball here, major threats in this second half. So far, both teams playing fairly conservatively.
It's a 33-yard punt by Retzos. And we have not seen a pass this second half, Kelly.
It's a little surprising because both teams had some success with it in the first half.
Bruce Ballard running over people.
Ballard can hit. He gets a lot of yardage on that play. Looks like about 7-8 yards. I don't know whoever the first man was to hit him. I think it was number 32, Francis. But he took a blow there from Ballard. Second down and 3 yards to go. Ballard again up the middle, but this time Kennedy's short of a first down.
And again, Roy Lester content to run right to the teeth of that defense. Richard Reddix, Joe Weston, John Bauer, 275, 240, 245 respectively. And that's a tough task.
Third down. So it's being done in the trenches this half. 1 minute to go unofficially in the third quarter. Magruder would like to keep this drive alive.
Here comes Bruce Ballard. You can bet on it.
No, it's Andy McLean on a fake on the keeper, and Kennedy penetrated beautifully. And one of the big men for the Kennedy defense, Reddix, who goes 275 pounds, penetrated and brought down Andy McLean for a loss there. It's hard to tell what that play was. Kennedy's penetration was so good, almost prevented it from really developing.
I don't understand the reasoning.
His Riders punt. This is Kearney, the quarterback, and he is hit hard by Magruder at the 37-yard line and brought down. But
that's a major league hit by Matt Weston.
Some good hitting here in this second half. Both teams come to play. But the Cavaliers will get pretty good field position here.
Matt Weston made the snap on that punt. He's the center for the Colonels. 5'9", 160-pound junior. He certainly did put a lick on the punt returner.
But Kennedy came up tough on that third down play. Forced a loss on Magruder, which gives them the ball in decent field position here, and that's the end of the third quarter of play. Still a close ball game as the Magruder Colonels lead the Kennedy Cavaliers 7-6. All right, we're back to start the fourth quarter play in this tight ball game between Kennedy and Magruder. Kelly Burke and Billy Gordon with you. Here's a pitch to Owaska. He doesn't go very far as Magruder has really come up tough in this second half. They got a spirit, they got some real adrenaline at the end of the first half. Scored their touchdown, and they've been playing tough ever since, Billy.
In that third quarter, Kelly, we had 18 plays run. 9 by each team, 9 running plays for Magruder, 9 running plays for Kennedy.
Well, it's not very exciting football, frankly, but both coaches playing conservatively, wanting to keep mistakes from happening, and trying to wear each other down on the line. Second down. Kearney looks to throw. He's got him running the post. It's
nice throw.
Complete to Minta, who's the backup quarterback. He also plays split end. I saw him open on that post, and so did the quarterback. Good pass from Kearney there.
A very nice looking play. Play action fake. Ball was delivered on the money after 10 consecutive running plays. At the start of the second half, Minta has caught 2 passes now for 45 yards total.
Good protection there by the Kennedy line on that sprint out. No pressure that time at all, so that Kearney had plenty of time to look and set up. And Minta ran a good pattern. It's a first down now as that big gain on the 40-yard line of the Colonels. Magruder holds firm there, only about a 3-yard gain.
So Waska carrying the football, knocked down by Charles McFarland.
That'll bring up a second down and 8. Play on that pass. Nice setup here by Kearney. Ooh, almost intercepted throw to a little bit behind the receiver, but the defender didn't quite close on the ball, as they say. So it ended up being a first down, a big play for the Cavaliers here. As we are in the fourth quarter, they're behind by 1 point. These are the division leaders right at the moment. Kearney looking to throw again. He's got people open, but he doesn't throw, and he's sacked by Magruder.
Big Brian Hines and John Towles.
Actually, a couple of receivers were open for a minute, but they then ran into each other on the pattern. One either didn't run deep enough or one didn't run short enough. And Kearney saw that there was confusion there. And there's a loss on the play. Third down and 12.
Hines and Towles at tackle tandem for the Colonels. Hines 6'4", 260. Towels 5'10", 220.
He's played a good game, Hines. His name has come up a lot. So some confusion there, the calling of the play by Kennedy. But it's third down, they're out, and the receiver is split far. But, as I feared, they took too much time shuttling in the plays, and that's a costly penalty. These mistakes kill you. This late in the ball game, they can be costly.
Instead of 3rd and 13, it's going to be 3rd and about.
Dead ball foul, delay a game, offense
18.
5 yards, play third.
Put your offense in a difficult position. Now this is a situation where you're going to have to pass in order to pick up the first down.
So let's see what kind of play Marvin Garlick is calling here with third down.
It's our first penalty of the second half.
A receiver is split far side. There is a wingback on this near side. Slow developing play, but he gets time to throw. He throws in the flat to Nelson, but Nelson slips. He only gets a little bit of that yardage back, maybe about 5 or 6. He's slipped a couple of times tonight. Could have gotten a little more yardage out of that.
We'll have to punt. Red Sox is in the ball game.
This could, however, put the Colonels deep in their zone if they can't return it. So Red Sox will see what he does.
Looks like Andy Ryder and Mike Graham back.
Not too deep a punt. We'll see how it bounces, though, as Magruder lets it roll. It's down by the Colonels inside the 20 at about the 18. Red Sox is only averaging 27 yards a kick. But Magruder is back inside their 20. They'll make a go of it there, 1st and 10. With 8:26 to go in the 4th quarter.
It's a 24-yard punt that time by Jim Red Sox. It's his 4th punt of the night.
So in the second half, the ball just keeps being handed back and forth, like a ping pong game, as neither team has been able to open up offensively.
Fumble.
McLean has trouble pulling away from the center. That's happened a couple of times in this ball game. He recovered his own fumble, though, but there's a loss on the play. Second down.
Third fumble of the night for Andy McLean, Kelly.
Second down, about 14. And this clock keeps moving. Magruder has the lead, but only by 1 point. The missed extra point by the Cavaliers looking more and more ominous, as neither team is able to move the ball well in this second half. McLean will try it again. Hand off to Ballard. They're really hitting on that line now. Neither team given an inch up front.
And again, the attempt is to go straight into the strength of that Kennedy Cavalier defense. And it is not working.
Well, again, Reddix, Weston, and these are big guys. Weston's 240, Reddix is 275. Got to hand it to Magruder for their guts. They're firing out, trying to make it happen. Challenging Kennedy right in the strength of the team. 3rd down and 13. Not wanting to have a turnover deep in their zone, Magruder is content to simply off the middle, up the middle to Ballard. He doesn't get much of anything, maybe 2 yards, so Magruder will be forced to kick. And you can see the strategy of the Cavaliers working out here as they punted on their last possession, pushing Magruder deeper into their zone. They'll get better field position this go-round. It's a short kick, and it takes a Cavalier bounce and is downed by Magruder in their own territory. And the Cavaliers picked up about 10 yards, 10, 15 yards on that change of possessions from their last possession. That shows how just solid defense and strategy can play a factor in a ball game. So Magruder has to come up again with tough defense here as the ball starts in their own territory. It's at the 43-yard line of the Colonels. Time is a factor here now for the Cavaliers. Handoff up the middle to Nelson. Nelson's got it.
He may score.
They break free. He's caught from behind, but he scores. A great effort by Nelson, Omar Nelson. Several Magruder Colonels had a crack at him, but he was just through dogged determination,
Omar
unwilling to be put down there, Billy.
Ran right out of his jersey.
He ran himself into a cramp as he's down on the ground now, but that's certainly the most satisfying cramp he's ever had.
Fine run that time, following his blockers behind that right guard.
I didn't. He was
That was a
behind me.
43-yard run.
Okay, that's fine. You got time. One can go in and talk. You're right.
Referee's mic
One
is
coach,
open there.
If one wants to talk to the team.
That was a great run by Omar Nelson. A good, quick hit at the line, too, there as the center, Julian Norman, and Joe Weston opened up a hole right up the middle. We can see here how it develops very quickly. Look at that hole. Good bounce off by Nelson.
Nice cut. There's Mike Graham grabbing the jersey. And there's Charles McFarland grabbing the jersey, but nobody stops him.
Nobody grabs the man, and he runs into the end zone. Omar Nelson gets himself a touchdown and puts the Cavaliers ahead now, 12-7.
Good look at Omar Nelson as he accumulates 100 yards on the ground, 16 carries.
No, he was
Almost pulled his jersey off, but it certainly didn't stop him.
6 minutes to go in the ball game. That couldn't have come at a better time for Kennedy.
That's it. All right, hip.
That's Nelson's first touchdown of the year, according to our stat sheet. Even though he's rushed for over 230 yards and over a 5-yard average, that's his first touch. That was one of the best we've seen this year, the way he kept those legs a-churning.
He's done a superb job tonight, Kelly. 16 carries, as we said, for 100 yards. He's caught 2 passes for 14 yards. He's also thrown the ball 1 time and completed it for 18 yards and a first down.
Well, Billy, are they going to go for 2, or are they going to just try to tie this ball or get the
with Omar Nelson
extra point?
On the sidelines with the cramp, being the place kicker, it makes a lot of sense to go for 2 points here.
Well, here they go, and it's a pass play. Kearney's got to get rid of it. He's getting some pressure now. Toss behind the receiver, and it's incomplete. And that's just what Magruder hoped for, because they can win it with just 6 points. They could even afford to miss the extra point if they scored a touchdown.
Also,
so once again, the Cavaliers unable to convert on their touch.
It's going to put the Colonels in a position to have to put the ball up, however, Kelly.
Well, it worked for them at the end of the first half, Billy. As Andy McLean really sent the spark into the Magruder Colonels at the end of the first half, and what amounted to a 2-minute drill, and threw a touchdown pass, which put the Colonels up by a point. And we saw a seesaw third quarter here as both teams ran the ball. But the Cavaliers getting the ball back inside Magruder territory, score on a simple dive play up the middle.
Okay, Omar Nelson back in the ball game, set to kick.
He's the man who scored the touchdown on a great run. Ballard is back. It's a good driving kick taken, and his knee was down.
That's right. Once that knee touches the ground, you have possession of the football, the play is immediately blown dead. That cost the Colonels at least 20 yards, Kelly.
Yes, because the kickoff was a driving kick which got there fast, didn't allow the coverage to really develop yet. He would have been able to return that and and would have given the Colonels much better field position. As it is, they're starting back by their 13-yard line.
That was Mickey Myers who received that kick.
And with 5:50 to go in the ball game, every yard counts. All right, Andy McLean brings them out. Magruder is always reluctant to pass. They throw on that one. McLean overthrows Graham, And that's incomplete. Good play action pass, though. A good call.
Faking to the middle of the line to Ballard. Graham ran the sideline pattern.
He was open.
And certainly was open. Pass was overthrown. And again, what is happening here is the Colonels are now in a desperation type situation where they're going to have to throw the football in order to score.
5:32 to go. Clock is stopped on that incompletion. But second down and 10. Man goes in motion. And a Kennedy player got a little anxious. Let's see whether he was drawn off or not.
It looked like the motion that time was by Irfan Jamil, number 40, who was lined up behind McLean. But there was offsides on the Cavaliers. Colonels get a break.
It was
Dead
Bauer
ball,
who jumped
foul,
off.
encroachment, offense, second down and 5.
John Bauer, tackle, got a little anxious there. And that gives Magruder a break. They'll have second down. Clock didn't move a second, but they gained 5 yards. Man goes in motion again. The pitch to this side.
Bruce Ballard.
Ballard gets some yards. He grinds them for a first down. And the Colonels are alive with 5:25 to go. Trying to get that touchdown back as they're down by 5 points.
That's Bruce Ballard's 15th carry of the night for a total of 62 yards.
Magruder is 1-1 in the division. Cavaliers are 2-0 in the division. Cavaliers trying to keep the lead here. Both teams overall have the same record, 2-2.
Be a big, big win for the Kennedy Cavaliers if they can hold on. I remember last season having the opportunity to be at Kennedy's homecoming where the Magruder Colonels shut them out 14-0 and really put a damper on those homecoming festivities. I'm sure that the Cavaliers would like to repay the favor here at Magruder High School.
We've had some exciting close games for you this season so far. Next week, we've got Damascus, but that fine passing attack they have coming over to Poolesville. And that game will be October 13th, October 14th, and you'll be able to see it October 15th as well. You can see the times, 10, 6, and 9, Saturday and Sunday, Monday at 7. So Magruder with a first down, with a little over 5 minutes to play in this ball game, trying to get a touchdown back and take the lead. Cavaliers.
Play action.
It's a keeper by McLean, but he doesn't get outside. As good pursuit there by Kennedy defense.
Cannot afford to take sacks at this point in the football game.
That was Mike Ruff who strung that play out. It was a good fake by McLean. Most of the Kennedy defense went for it, but the one man who needed to be really taken in wasn't, and that was Mike Ruff, the defensive end. So it's second down. There's a loss on that play, 2nd and 12. So Magruder is going to put it up here as McLean. He has a man open on the post. It's overthrown and nearly intercepted. There is good coverage by the Kennedy Cavaliers. Number 22, John Suley, a soft, really showed some good speed to close on that ball. The receiver was open underneath. Just prior to that, McLean overthrew him a bit, and Suley was there, showing good speed.
Yeah, that was an excellent move on that football by Suley.
Once again, though, the short receiver who did an out pattern was open. McLean shows the deep route. Brings up a third down and 12 now, with the clock down to 4:33 in the fourth quarter. Magruder needs something to happen here. McLean sets up, getting some pressure, throws deep. He just threw it up, and it's intercepted by Suley. He's brought down by Graham, and the Cavaliers will have the ball at the 36-yard line. You might call that as good of a punt in a normal situation, but Magruder needs some points on the board.
Yeah, Suley that time, his last 2 passing plays, outstanding coverage. That time coming up with the interception. Mike Graham was nowhere near that football.
Well, McLean did not set up well. He was getting some pressure, but he threw it way too early. Not really looking to see if the man was open. The receiver couldn't catch up with the ball. With the clock moving now, and the Cavaliers, of course, will try to keep it that way. They'll certainly keep it on the ground. 1st and 10, a little over 4 minutes to go.
Owaska coming at you.
Called it. Nelson leads the blocking through the hole. They get about 4 or 5 on the play, and Kennedy is feeling happy right about now as they come back in the second half to take the lead from Magruder. We got 4 minutes now to go in this game. A 4-minute warning to both sides. Roy Lester's young team has played a valiant ball game, courageous. Remember, they're starting 8 sophomores and a Reifert. But they were unable to hold the Cavaliers' Omar Nelson on a big running play, a 43-yard touchdown run just a while ago. The handoff is up the middle to Nelson. He only gets a couple there, though. And the Cavaliers keep eating up that clock. Big 3rd down play here, 3rd and 4. And Magruder has to really toughen up front here. Magruder has played an excellent second half defensively, but for that 143-yard run, they were playing the Cavaliers even up this half and doing it up front. Let's see if they can hold them here. The receiver is split to this near side. Kearney runs the option, and he's got a first down. Even a first down. He runs out of bounds at the 45-yard line of the Colonels. So they faked it up the middle. An effective play around end, and that gets a first down, and really a big play for the Cavaliers.
That's a big first down. I saw Coach Al DiStefano over there telling him to turn it upfield, not to run out of bounds. But that's a big play. Now we're under 3 minutes.
Reddix, the big tackle, right tackle for the Cavaliers, is injured his left arm, but he's still in there. First down. Magruder will be trying to strip the ball here. Here's Owasco. He gets about 4 on the play. Clock still runs. Well, there's not much Magruder can do except to try to strip the ball. Pretty soon they'll start calling some timeouts.
Clock's running. We're under 3 minutes.
2 receivers now split far. Eric Kearney, who's done a great job at quarterback.
Here he goes again.
Handoff to Nelson. Up the middle, looked like the same play that he scored the touchdown on, and he gets another first down for the Cavaliers.
Again.
And Magruder calls a timeout.
Again, running behind Julian Norman. Good look at Omar Nelson.
And he has run for over 100 yards in this ball game. And I think if we had to choose a star for this game, it would probably be Nelson. Run for over 100 yards, got the critical touchdown on a 43-yard touchdown run a little while back, and gets a crit down there for Cavaliers to keep this drive going and run that clock down.
Nelson currently 18 carries for a total of 114 yards.
And that's being very productive, running behind that strong offensive line of Kennedy. Got to give credit to Bauer, to O, to Norman, the center, to Weston, to Reddix, and to Mike Ruff, as they have played a whale of a ball game up front. So the Cavaliers, if they can hold on here, and it looks like they will, with 2:15 remaining, will move to 3-2 and be 3-0 in the division. The handoff is to Owasco. Looks face mask there, and the flag is thrown.
That time as Edwin Serprin came over to make the tackle, it looked like he got a hand on that face mask. And if that's called, it'll be tacked onto that run.
There's no way to get the ball back.
That's going to be an automatic first down. And 15 yards.
So the Cavaliers keep moving closer to the Magruder goal line.
Face mask, defense, half the distance, first down, 12.5-yard line.
So it looks pretty bleak for Magruder. But they've played a tough game against Kennedy. The Magruder team is a young team, as we've mentioned. They have allowed more points than any other team in the division coming into this game, but holding the Cavaliers to through this point is nothing to be ashamed of by any means. Magruder again calls a timeout as Owasco runs the ball for only about a 2-yard gain. Unofficially, clock is set about 1:52, the scoreboard. Billy Gordon will be heading down to the field to interview the winning coach and our star of the game. If the Cavaliers go on to win, it will certainly be Omar Nelson, who has run for 114 yards in this ball game. And for the most part, Kennedy has done it on the ground, although they ran some inventive plays in the first half. A fake punt pass that got them first down and carried them through on their first drive, which got them their first touchdown. They were able to do it this half, though, most of the way on the ground. They've gotten well over 200 yards rushing in the ball game, as that line has really moved out. Owusu Wilson, who was a running back who ran effectively in the first half, was injured, a bad knee. He can feel good at least to know that his team has come back successfully here in the second half. Minta goes in motion, handoff. Nets another 4 or 5 for the Cavaliers. And Magruder takes what I believe is their last time out here with 1:44 to go. This will bring up a third down. For the Cavaliers. The ball is, however, at the 8-yard line, so they can do a couple of things here. They could try for a first down, which would be about the 2-yard line, or they could try for a field goal if they want to go one more play, or try for a touchdown on both of these plays. I'm not sure you can feel even too safe with 1:44 to go and only being up by 5 points. So the Cavaliers, I think, would certainly be looking to score in this possession. When you're only leading by 5, you can't be too much the good guy to the other team. Receivers now split to the far side on this important third down play. Magruder is out of timeouts. Handoff up the middle. Close to a first down. Cavaliers, that was Nelson. Once again, up the middle on that same play following the blocking of Norman and Weston. That was the same play that they scored the touchdown on. Same play they got the critical first down on a third down.